Welcome, everybody. What's up?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Cover Band Central CBC Wizdumb Hour on for whatever day it is, Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022. I'm Steve Witchell in New Orleans.
Tony B coming to you from New Jersey. What's happening?
I just woke up from a nap, and it was a really good nap. So I kind of woke up like, is it a new day? What is going on? So, nope, it's still Tuesday.
And you were like, hey, welcome to the CBC Wizdumb Hour.
Right. Right. No, it was good. I was up kind of early this morning. Did a live stream earlier with Eli from Juke. Anybody else wants to catch that, you can see the replay on the page,
Juke.
which is where we're streaming. The Cover Band Central page, the Facebook group, and on YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. The link is in the description.
Yeah.
Come on in and say hi, people, and tell us where you're from. This is going to be a show about you guys today, because I couldn't come up with a topic. But it is 7:04 Central Time PM right now as we are broadcasting live. 8:04 PM Eastern Time where Tony is. And if it's not that time equivalent in your time zone, you're watching the replay. And I'm telling that to the people who watch the replay and say, why aren't you answering my question?
Yeah. What's wrong with you guys? You suck.
Also, we do send this out to an audio podcast, and we get a lot of listeners there. And we appreciate you all for being with us for the entire run. And if you want to watch this live or want to watch the video, you can check it out on the various Cover Band Central channels.
Yeah.
Sanford is in Dallas, Texas.
What's up, Sanford?
Sanford doubles as Batman sometimes. Works at night. Or
Sanford Wayne.
Yeah, right. The Sanford Manor.
Or Wayne Sanford.
Wayne Sanford. I don't know. Yeah, so I've been working on Cover Band Central a lot, and I appreciate all the feedback I get from everybody. If you're not part of the group, come on in and join the group. The group is highly active on Facebook, Cover Band Central. Highly active. Karen's in Jamili, Manitoba, home of Crown Royal.
Yeah, there you go.
That's my old drummer's favorite drink was Crown. He would do shots of that. I can't. Crown, like straight, it's good. I can't do too much of it though.
Yeah, no.
There's rain here too. Sanford said tons of rain here. The most unusual Texas August. Whatever. Yeah, it's raining here too. In New Orleans, it rains every day. It's raining right now. You might be able to hear it in the background.
Yeah, it rained here today too for a little while.
Violet's in Kentucky.
What's up, Violet?
Thanks for joining us, Violet. By the way, if you're watching live now, you have the opportunity to give stars, which is a digital gift you can give to Cover Band Central. You should see a prompt for it if you're watching on the Facebook page. That's the only place you can do that. So if you want to give some stars, we do everything for free. If you want to throw a little back, that is a way to do it, and we sure do appreciate that. 1 star equals 1 cent.
Get to be big stars, Stevie.
Yes. It's 1 a.m. in the UK. Nick's up late
Yeah.
or early.
Depending.
I don't know what Nick's schedule is.
Maybe he works nights. Maybe he's just getting home. Maybe he's just heading out.
Maybe.
Maybe he's just prolonging going to bed.
It's a CBC Wizdumb Hour / Weather Channel. Desiree is in Westport, Massachusetts, and had some thunderstorms for a bit.
Yeah, we had some inclement weather passing through.
So the weather brought to you by Cover Band Central. Mary's in San Francisco.
That's right. Weather brought to you by...
It's CBC Weather by Steve and Tony. Or Tony and Steve.
Partly cloudy skies will give way to thunderstorms later this evening.
She loves your funnies. I love your fun. She said, love your funnies. I don't know if she means our funnies now or funnies on the page, or it could be all the funnies.
Maybe she's saying we're funny looking.
It could be that too.
Or no.
Bev is in Northern Ontario, the 49th parallel. How about that? I don't know what
parallel.
I don't know what parallel we are here.
I'm not sure either. I have to look it up.
Yeah, I'll look that up later. I'll ask my
Alexa, yeah.
Yeah, I'll ask her. I can't say that because then she'll think I'm talking.
Yeah,
to
I
her.
just asked my guys, Teddy, look up what parallel we are on. Yeah, he's working on it.
Right. So,
Yeah,
okay, Nick is a guy. I don't think we refer to Nick as a woman though. Nick is a guy though. That's his mom.
That's his mom in the pic. Yeah,
His mom in the picture.
I didn't think he was Nicolette or
Nicole.
Nicole.
Yeah. All right. So me and Tony are gonna talk about stuff, and
Yeah, what do you got?
You guys can talk about stuff too. I didn't pick a topic today. I just left it up to the audience to come up with some stuff because I didn't know what.
Let's talk about drunk people at gigs.
All right. Let's not for a second before I say.
Story.
We can do that, but before I say to the audience who's watching, what's on your mind? Tell us something about your musical experience right now. Are you gigging? Are you not gigging? Are you looking for a band? Are you retired from gigging? Do you have questions, problems, concerns that are happening right now that you're willing to discuss with us so that we can have some content for this hour?
Yeah, I like it.
Well, Chris said, watching on YouTube, here's a topic: arrest after a gig because they were waiting down the road from the club. Well, you just said something about drunk people at gigs, so there you go. So that's a topic.
Excellent. I like that. Getting arrested after the gig because the cops are on a stakeout waiting for you. You know what's funny, dude, that you say that? Because I played a gig one time with the Elevators, and when we came on break, there was all kinds of cops. Oh,
Marsha,
thank you very much. Yeah.
Marsha thinks you're handsome. Not me.
No,
just you.
Of course not.
Yeah.
So the cops were all in the bar, like 6 cops, and they were all like, "Are you the drummer?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "You need to talk to us. So we can come with us." And then the guy was like, "No, that's like the different band." And they're like looking for some guy like Richard something or other. And I'm like, "No, that's not me." And the guy's like, "Well, I need to see your ID, like to prove that it's not you." So evidently the guy, we were setting up inside at Emerson Hotel to play the gig indoors. There was a band that was finishing their set, I guess, from the outdoor bar afternoon band, and he was wanted for something. And somehow the police tracked him down to there, but they had already packed up and gone. They were already, they were already probably an hour and a half gone since, we started playing. But yeah, the cops were looking for this guy. So I had to show them my ID to prove that I wasn't the guy that was looking for felony arrest, and I was actually the handsome Tony B that I am. But they were very quick to be like, okay, cool. So funny story though, like I said, about getting arrested from the gig, because if that guy had been there performing when the police showed up, they would have taken him away in handcuffs, and the gig would have been over.
Oh my goodness!
But waiting down the street till after the gig, now that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Donnie thinks we're awesome. Thank you, Donnie. You're awesome too. And we have Dorothy is hooked. Dorothy has returned.
Yeah, Dorothy's
from
back
last week. Welcome back.
Awesome.
And Adam's in San Antonio, Texas. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember ever experiencing that after gigs, but I definitely remember times just going out to clubs where cops would park near the club for closing time to catch drunk people leaving.
Yeah.
And in Jersey, Jersey's a cop state. There's cops everywhere. It's so different here, Tony, in Louisiana. Like, there's no, like in New Jersey, you have cops on the side of the highways and sides of the roads with their radar gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking for people speeding to give tickets.
Yep.
They pull you over if your inspection sticker is overdue.
Snipers.
Dude, here, I mean, I've been doing a lot of driving lately. Here, people drive without a license plate all over the place. Like, and you only have to have it on the back of your car here. It's like in Jersey, it's the front and back.
Yeah. And so some people don't even have it on the back.
No license plate. I see it.
Stolen car, like stolen vehicle.
I have no idea. I just see it almost every day, and it's not like it looks like it's a car that was just driven off the lot and they didn't put their tag up or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like
no temp tag in the window.
Nothing. No, and I look really hard for it. I'm like, there's got to be something. How can you drive without a license plate?
The guy's got it like in his glove compartment or something. It fell off. He didn't have a screw.
Every day, I see it every day, and that can't be the reason.
Should happen, Steve.
But it should be illegal, right? To drive without identifying yourself.
I mean, you would definitely think that'd be a red flag to get pulled over.
Because
That'd be
what
probable
happens?
cause right there.
Yeah, and what happens if that car hits you and then takes off?
Yeah.
Well,
You're
yeah,
screwed. He's like, peace.
it's a. What's the license plate number?
screwed.
I don't know. There was no license plate.
There was no license plate.
Well,
Okay,
it
sir,
was a
thank you
white
for calling.
car.
Thank you for calling. We'll take your call back later.
Yeah, it was a white car, and I don't know what make it was.
It's a white car with, I think, a guy driving it.
And it has no
SUV,
license
and
plate.
It has no license plate on it. It left very quickly. Loud music playing, too. So
Yeah,
River Band Central.
He hit my car. See if you can find him.
Yeah. Scratched my vehicle.
Yeah. Well, Batman said you chase him down. If you're Batman, sure.
Sure. Or you just play Demolition Derby and ram it back into them.
Right.
Slow them down a little bit, right?
Biff said that's crazy.
Yeah. Love it.
I am a bass player.
So
I don't
Trump,
know.
Listen,
Steven said I'm a bass player. I think he was talking about me.
well, I'm certainly not, so he must be referring to you.
Marcia said, you guys are funny. Oh, yeah, the cops do it in Virginia, too. They will pull you over for a headlight not working, especially if you're as pretty as her.
Yeah, they just want to get your number, Donna. They just want to
Right, Marcia.
pull you over, Marcia.
Marcia. She thinks
Well,
you're
Marcia
pretty.
does
Say her
it.
name
There you
right.
go.
She
Yes.
thinks you're handsome. Say
I
her
said
name
yes.
right.
Well, we can't see what she looks like, so I don't.
Uh,
Let's take her word for that she's pretty.
The guy was a bass player. I'm sure she is.
Yeah, the guy was a bass player who's telling the cop story about getting arrested.
Greetings from Tobamori. Where's
Tobamori!
Where's Tobamori?
Next to Tobamary.
That's where Paul is, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never had issues with the law after a gig.
Oh, so I have a great gig story for that one.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. So we play.
Will it last 48 minutes? 'Cause
I can
that's how
make
much
it.
time we have.
I can definitely stretch it to 47 if you give me a little bit of runway.
All right, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So the year was 1993, and the weather was nice and warm, sunny day, or spring. So we played this rock fest. It was Apple Rock. It was like 50 bands.
Let's see if
It
we
was
can highlight it.
It was an outdoor, outdoor festival type venue.
I'm just playing with the screen.
People
Go ahead.
camping and whatnot. So they had state. So when we got there, of course, because we're in the band, we get there early to get set up, and like they were just setting up what looked like cones in the middle of the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unbeknownst to us, it was going to be like a state police checkpoint with dogs
Oh, no.
going into the festival.
Okay.
So we get, as we're going in, we're already ahead of the game, and they don't have the thing set up yet, but we see them setting it up. We wave to them, we drive in, we go home. We're good. Hours later now, certain affiliates of ours that are coming out to see the band and fans and people up being like, dude, like, I just got a ticket, and they, like, confiscated my beer and my weed, driving in. They had, like, a checkpoint at the gate. It's like the police were, like, harassing everybody, like, confiscating all their alcohol and stuff, and it was like campground. It was big to do. So anyway, we play, and we hang out for a while. And some guys were going to stay there and camp, and we opted to leave and go home. So it's probably like midnight, and we're pulling out of there. So we had this one guy with us, this guy Junior, and he's roadie with the band and friend of ours, and we were in the van. So it was me and
Junior?
I think it was. No. Junior was in the back. He was
Okay.
sitting in the back. It was me and somebody else in the front. I don't remember who was with me.
Okay.
But anyway, so there was two of us in the front of the van. He was in the back. So we pull out of the festival and we start driving, and I guess my license plate light was out. So we pass a cop, and all of a sudden he's making a U-turn in the middle of the street, and he pulls us over. So we're like, okay. So he comes to the window, and he says, where you come from? We said, we're coming from the festival. We just played the festival, blah, blah, blah. What do you got? You have any drugs on you? No. Do you have any alcohol? No. Have you been drinking? No. We just played. I just told you that. So the guy's like, all right. He's like, just wait here a minute. Want to just run your license plate lights out. Just want to run your plate and make sure your registration, everything's good. So I give him my registration, my insurance. He comes back to the window, and he's like, all right, you're all checked out. You're good. He's like, just get that license plate light fixed, when you get back to Jersey, because we're in upstate New York. And as he's talking to me, the other cop in the back of the van shines the light in the back window and sees Junior's face in the window. Like, what's up? So right away the cop's like, whoa, whoa. He's like, we got a guy back here. Shut it down. So the other cop's like, all right, turn your vehicle off. He's like, you got to, we have to open the back door. And he's like, hey, man, what's going on? He's like, what are you doing back here? He's like, so you got to understand that. And this could take the 47 minutes, was that Junior gave the best, like, long-winded explanations to where the cop would just be like, okay, enough with the response. Like, he'd be like, what are you doing back here? Oh, man, like, there wasn't enough room up front because we had to put the equipment in the van because we played the festival today, but, like, we had extra equipment, but when we came here, it was packed differently, so there was, like, more room up front, but now it's kind of like in the front more, so, like, the back had more area in it, but the speakers took up the side and the front, and then we had this other kid who gave us a sleeping bag and a tent we had to take home with us, and the cop's like, all right, I get it now. He's like, there's no room. Like, there's no room for him to sit in the front. He was sitting in the back. There was a chair back there, but I guess I forgot to put it back in again. And the cop's like, well, he's like, starts harassing him now. He's like, so you've been drinking today and stuff? And he's like, oh, yeah, lots. He's like, but I'm good. I'm not driving. He's like, so I'm good. But, yeah, I drank. He's like, and then the cop's like, what do you got in the bag? He's like, oh, I got all kinds of stuff, man. He's like, got a video camera in here. He's like, what are you doing with that? And he's like, videotaping bands. We were just at a music festival today. It was great. You want to see some footage, dude? Dude, there was this band that went on. It was called, like, Spiral. The cop's like, no. What else you got in the bag? So he's like, oh, I got this T-shirt. He goes, oh, I got this, this Apple Rock T-shirt that they gave us. And the cop's like, oh, man, they didn't give us any T-shirts like that. And then, we were working the gate. And the Junior's like, well, maybe if you weren't arresting people with the dogs and confiscating all their weed and liquor and stuff like that and let them get into the party, have a good time, maybe they give you a free shirt then. It's really not right that you do that to people, It's like they're coming here for a good time. This is like our chance to come and, like, unwind and have, like, a good time and drink and stuff. And you guys are, like, setting up roadblocks at the entrance. Like, that's not cool. So the cops just, like, put the shit back in the bag. Your friend has to go in the front and sit him in between the seats. Here's your paperwork back. Like, vamonos. Like, you're out of here.
Like, get out of here.
Yeah. And you're just like, all right, man, have a good night. Take care. It's like, nice meeting you. Thanks, officer. Like, take care. Like, yeah. And then we drove back with him sitting in the front seat. But yeah, I remember we got pulled over and we were detained there for probably a good, like, 25 minutes going through all this rigmarole.
That's crazy for a license plate light being out.
Yeah. But it was because he had to run the plate. We were out of state. He wanted to check, make sure we weren't drunk. He's asking us all kinds of questions. And then he's about to let us leave. And then he comes across our stowaway in the back. Right. Yeah, it was very, very, very entertaining, very comical.
That's New York, New Jersey for you, though. They'll pull you over for anything. The cops.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Marcia said the cops pulled her over once for accusing her of having a child not in a car seat. It was hilarious. It was my pit bull pup. You got to put the dog in the car seat.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if I should tell this. I'm not going to tell this now.
Well, another time we played.
I'll tell you later.
We played in the city, and we played down in, I think it was either Street Level or Spiral or one of those clubs down on, like, Bleecker Street down that way. And we had one set, we played, we packed up, and we're getting ready to leave, and it was a bar upstairs, and on the way out the bar, the guy was like, boots for the band, and he had these boots of beer, and he lined up the 5 boots on the bar, and he's like, you guys all get a boot, because you're in the band. So we're like, cool. So we chugged the boot down. We get in the van, and same thing, dude. We're in the van. I'm driving. Got one guy in the passenger seat, and then we got, like, 8 people in the back amongst the equipment, all jammed in, like, where they shouldn't be. Very hazardous. Get on the West Side Highway. We're driving. All of a sudden, dead stop traffic. What is going on, right? Get up a little further, DWI checkpoint.
Yeah.
Cop comes right up to the door on me. He goes, "You been drinking tonight?" And I'm like, "Yep." And he's like, "Blow into this." Puts the breathalyzer up to the thing. He goes, "Step out of the car." I step out of the car. He brings it on the side. He's like, "Blow into the breathalyzer." Because, he smelled it on me, obviously, because I just drank a boot and got in the car 5 minutes earlier. So I couldn't lie to him and be like, "No, I haven't had anything to drink." Meanwhile, so I'm like, yeah. So he goes, "Blow into this." I blow into the thing, and all he did was now, as I'm blowing in the thing, his back is to the window of the van, and I'm blowing in it, and behind him is 5 faces plastered up against the glass on the side of the van, all looking out like, "Whoa, dude, what's going on out there?" And then he just took the result, and he looked at it, and he's like, pulled the thing off and threw it on the ground. He's like, "Have a good night," and went to the car behind me.
Yeah, so because you hadn't had anything to drink before that, I guess?
Correct. I had nothing to drink before that because we were playing, so it wasn't even in my system yet. I may have smelled like a brewery, but I had just drank the beer like within 10 minutes, so it had not hit yet.
So it wasn't in your system?
Not at all. But it was just funny the way he's just like blowing this, and then he was just like, "Have a good night." No questions, no nothing. Like, you don't blow, they go to the next car.
But please, people out there, if you're drinking, don't drive.
No, don't
That's a
drive.
public
And that
service
was
announcement.
that was only
the
one
CBC
beer,
Wizdumb
and
Hour.
by no means were we intoxicated. So I'm
Right.
not, you know,
The,
promoting
ti-
that, Bill.
the time machine is in Green Bay, Wisconsin, where they certainly like to drink beer. All right, so we got a question here. I hope he's still here. Matthew, let us know if you're still here, but we'll answer your question anyway. Matthew John Thompson said, all right, Steve and Tony, I have a serious question. I'm booked to play a 4-hour gig, and they want us to play 4 consecutive hours without stopping. How would you even set that up? Well, Matthew John Thompson, I could tell you about playing 4 hours in a row.
But he's saying with no breaks.
With no breaks. I can tell you about doing that because I've done it here in New Orleans. Maybe not 4 hours. Yeah, I've definitely done 4 hours in a row where we've done 5 sets or 6 sets without a break, which would be 6 sets would be 4.5.
So what are some suggestions, Steve, you have for our cover band central audience?
Well, his question is
4-hour gig.
His question is, how would you even set that up? And he's here. And he said, just so you know, I'm a fat fucking drummer. That's what he wanted to do.
Well, that's good because you'll be sitting down the whole time. So
Right. So maybe you can give him some suggestions, being that you are a drummer. But his question is, how do you set that up? Well, since you know ahead of time, you can definitely
I think,
plan.
Steve, what he's asking is you set the snare drum up in the middle, the bass drum kind of off to the right a little bit, and then if you have a rack tom, you put it out in front.
There you go. Since you know ahead of time, you can definitely plan your set list, your song lists. So I'll give you some pieces of advice. Don't drink too much while you're playing. But if you are a drinker and you do normally drink during your show, then, drink a little bit, but don't drink too much. Definitely drink a lot of water. Plan for it ahead of time. Know that it's going to happen. So get sufficient amount of sleep. Eat a good meal, maybe carb up so you have some energy. But plan your set lists with breaks, meaning where everybody in the band gets a break at least a couple times for that 4 hours. So somebody's got to take a bathroom break. And you can do that by, one way is, I don't know what your band is, but one way is if you have people in the band that are multi-instrumentalists, then you can have somebody like a singer play guitar while the guitar player takes a break. Or
singer played guitar.
Yeah. Steven said that, and I would agree. Have multiple singers if you can. So give people breaks. And that's one of the things that, Steven played with Rockbox, and I've played with Rockbox too on Bourbon Street. And that's one thing that they do well, is everybody kind of gets a break every once in a while from the stage. So they'll do an acoustic song with just vocals and guitar. So the drummer gets a break and the bass player gets a break. And they switch off that. And Sonny, this guy Sonny is in the band, and he plays every instrument and sings. So if anybody needs a break, he could just jump on their instrument.
But what if you don't have that option, Steve?
What if you don't?
One singer, one guitar player, one bass player, one drummer.
Then you still can find ways to give everybody a break. Because in 4 hours, somebody's going to need to take a piss. Everybody's going to need to take a piss in 4 hours, especially if you're drinking. So you have to plan for breaks. And it could be something as simple as, all right, the singer's going to just riff with the crowd, just talk on the mic for a couple minutes and involve people in the audience and do something, play a game, whatever. Just come up with some sort of ideas. I don't know what kind of gig it is. If it's a party, maybe, then you can do that. You can plan some sort of games or some sort of interaction with the crowd, so that the singer is just the only person on stage and everybody else can go take a piss or whatever, go get a drink. So that's
ebb and flow too. Dancey stuff, slower stuff, right?
I mean,
like you said, you get a little dynamic, you get a little break.
Yeah, and this is a good idea too, and he's laughing about it, but long guitar solos. You could do that. Give a guitar player a solo. Everybody gets a break. Give the drummer a solo. Everybody
drum solos are always good for that.
Everybody loves a drum solo.
Take 2 or 3 of them a night.
All right, so he's followed up and said he does have four singers, so that's a plus. Would it be weird to maybe have a few breaks acoustically? No, yeah, that's what we were saying. That's what you should do. I'm interested to know what kind of gig it is. Like, what is the venue? What is the occasion?
Right.
So that would be helpful to know to give you more advice here.
Definitely bring, as ridiculous as it sounds, you bring some drinks and some nourishment with you, whether it be like, protein bar, some kind of water jug, but something, especially for drums, you can stockpile a bunch of stuff behind the kit, This way you have some goods so you can keep yourself hydrated and nourished while you're playing. Because like you said, 4 hours is a long time, especially for a drummer playing high energy, very physical,
Right.
So you definitely without a break. Yeah, we usually play 4 hours with a break, you know what I mean? Or two breaks, but short ones. So maybe 15 minutes. So you're really playing 3.5 hours worth of music. So it's really just that extra half hour, like you said, of not being able to leave the stage or, use the bathroom or get something to eat or get something to drink. But like you said, if you have multiple singers, there's ways around it. Or acoustic. You could do acoustic, 2 or 3 songs, and guys can take a break then,
Right. He said it's a high energy bar in downtown Detroit. So, high energy bar. High energy bar, you could still break it down. You could still do acoustic songs and, people will still sing or dance.
Yeah, maybe not for 20 minutes, though, but maybe to allow
just one.
One guy to depart to hit the bathroom or something, right?
Yeah, design your set list in such a way that it's like, okay, like 45 minutes into it, we're going to do this acoustic number, and then you can take a break and you can take a break, and then put another one an hour or so later to space them out. To plan it ahead of time, like where people can take breaks. So you'll know right away, like you'll know going in, if you're the drummer, you'll know like, okay, by this song, we're going to play 10 songs and then I can take a break. So know ahead of time and space it out for everybody, and that'll help you.
And I guess it's like 10 to 2 maybe they play or something, right? Like they don't have it like once you're on, that's it.
That's what he's saying, yeah. I don't know if it was 10 to 2, but...
Well, 4 hours, but whatever, even if it was, 9 to 1 or whatever, right?
Yeah, there's plenty of songs, like Steven said, Every Rose Has Its Thorn is a good break song that you could do without the entire band, and especially songs where the crowd will sing.
Yeah.
Do that. Derek, my friend Derek Hernandez, who's a singer in Rockbox, and he was playing with my band, he would do an acoustic version of Simple Man. It's the Shine Down version of the Lynyrd Skynyrd song, which is just acoustic guitar and vocals. So somebody need a piss break, we'll do Simple Man. And that was just the way it worked. Yeah, that's good advice. Even if you don't have to pee when you get the chance. Empty that tank when you have some time.
Drummer can just have a pee bottle in the back there,
You should set that up. You should set that up and patent one.
I should market that.
Yeah,
the clamp goes on the snare stand. It leans forward. It's adjustable.
Right. They come in various hose sizes depending on your...
It can come with a hose extension. This way you don't spill any.
Right.
Well,
it should be like a funnel, right? Kind of like a funnel type thing.
Yeah, or like a sock, like an elephant's trunk. You could just put it into a bucket type thing.
Yeah. I would think it'd be hard to pee while sitting down like that.
Yeah, if you got to pee, you got to pee, man.
Sitting on a drum throne.
Sure, it'll make its way out.
Yeah. Batman uses Gatorade bottles to pee.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Nice, big, wide...
you gotta get the big bottle, yeah, not the regular 16 ounce.
Well, all the Gatorade bottles have a wide mouth, like as opposed to like a bottle of Coke or something.
Yeah, or soda of some sort.
Any soda has the smaller one. Steve wants to know who cleans that up when you're peeing all over the stage.
Sanitary. You just put the lid on it and throw it in the garbage. Disposable.
Yeah, and the Time Machine offered some advice here to this guy, and he said, I would just simply say no, but here's what we can do, and offer to take only a 10 or 15 minute break in 2 hours. And he said it's reasonable, and that's actually not a bad idea. If they came to you and said this, you can...
They're like, no breaks. 4 hours, no breaks. Take it or leave it, pal.
Well, I don't know how it was presented to this guy, but
don't know what the reason is, but because it has to be no breaks for 4 hours. Maybe because they don't want to lose the momentum or the crowd or something to that nature. I'm not sure.
yeah, it could be that. I've been in those situations too, where like they don't want to lose the crowd, and it will happen if the band goes off. People leave.
Adios.
Oh, he does a set list for his band, so he appreciates advice. Good. Matthew, check back in with us and let us know how it all went, because we're interested to know what advice you do take and what works for you, and how it all goes. So make sure you tune in.
And just to your theme, what are people doing? Right, that's interesting. He's playing a 4-hour gig. What else we got out there tonight? Anybody else doing anything exciting?
I don't know, but anybody, there's 46 people watching right now. Tell us what's going on in your musical world. Any questions, concerns, problems you have, or successes you've achieved, or anything. Tell us something so we can fill up some more content for 29 minutes.
Yeah, if you're getting pulled over with pit bulls in the back seat, I'd love to hear about it. Let us know.
That's a long comment that I can't read. Okay. All right. He said a little more, just a little information about my band. We typically bring 200 plus locals to all our shows, but we've never had it 4 hours straight. Well, now you're going to.
Yeah, and that's a good following, man. 200 plus people. That is a high energy bar, just with your own crowd in it.
Chris on YouTube said most all shifts on Broadway in Nashville are 4 hours nonstop. Balance and space is key. Solos are bonus time, and yes, audience games are a must in this tourist town, with set lists arranged well. So Chris basically just reiterated what we said, that does exist in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
So there you go. I like the games idea too. I like that a lot. If you can come up with some fun interactive games, and it doesn't have to be a long involved thing, just some sort of way to involve the crowd and way to kill some time.
Well, and pace yourself too, right? Don't come out of the gate hour one, especially as a drummer, playing, full tilt as hard as you can play, and you want to be high energy, but you definitely want to pace yourself.
Right.
Economy of motion.
Economy of motion. It's one of our favorite terms here on the CBC Wizdumb Hour.
That's right. It looks cool to hit that cymbal like that, but after doing that all night, that's probably more effective,
Right. Yes, I've learned that well on the bass guitar neck. Economy of motion.
Yes, instead of going like that, you go like this.
Yeah. It's funny because anytime somebody else plays my bass and they start playing, it's so much louder when they're playing it.
They're digging in, yeah.
Because they hit hard, or they pluck hard. I mean, I'm very gentle, man, with my right hand.
Yeah.
With plucking those fingers after years of playing, early years of playing Iron Maiden songs where I was playing hard on it. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, somebody asked this question a while ago, and I don't know if she's still here, but let me find the question, because it was a good one. It's a different topic.
It's about Iron Maiden, Steve?
No, it was about... Okay, it's John Horton. John, if you're still here, let us know. If you're still watching, we're going to answer your question now. And it's separate, but out of all the concerts in history, which one do you wish you could have been at? And the floor is open for to hear your answers. The only one that I can think of, speaking of Iron Maiden, was one that I chose not to go to, and I don't remember why, but I was a kid and I had only been to maybe one or two concerts at that point, and it was Judas Priest on the Screaming for Vengeance tour with Iron Maiden on the Number of the Beast tour, double bill, and I did not go. And that's one that I was kicking myself for a while for not going, because I went to see Priest the year after that and Maiden the year after that too, and they were phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I was like, and the albums where those two bands just broke. Screaming for Vengeance, because British Steel was huge for Priest, but then Screaming for Vengeance put him over the top.
Yeah.
And Number of the Beast for Iron Maiden was the first album with Bruce Dickinson, and he just kind of changed the whole thing with the band. So that's one that I wish I had gone to. But John, who I asked the question, he said the first Woodstock for sure. Well, I was 2 during the first Woodstock, so I don't think I would have enjoyed it nor remembered it. So,
But I think they're asking the question like if you could have gone to any concert, like if you
regardless
could,
of my
like,
age.
yes, like if you could have seen Elvis, like is that something that you would have been the thing you would have most wanted to do? That's how I'm reading the question. Like if you could see any concert, what would it
Okay.
be?
Well, what would be your answer? You had some time to think about this now.
I would have enjoyed being at when they filmed "Song Remains the Same."
Yeah. Okay. Madison Square Garden.
Yep, be at MSG in the city to see Zeppelin
That was
in that era because I think that's when they were at their peak. They were fresh and they were in their hitting stride.
yeah. It's interesting thinking about seeing a concert from the early 70s in
Yeah,
Madison Square Garden.
yeah,
Because nowadays, if you go to any arena, there's big video screens and you can see everything
yep.
for no matter where you are in the arena. But back then, there was nothing. And that concert was bare bones, man. They were just on stage with a couple amps, Bonham, Plant.
That's what I mean. It would have been like it was an epic historical type of concert that we get to witness through the video and the movie. But that would have been cool, I think, to have been at
This is a great one Chris said on YouTube. The
Us
Us Festival.
Yeah.
That would have been killer, yes, to be at that.
Yes.
That was great. That was
That
great
was
watching that on
Van
TV.
Halen was the highest paid band in history
$1 million.
at the US Festival. Yes.
And that was a shitload of money back then.
Yeah.
It still is, but
It worked out to something. I forget it was $26,000 a minute or something that they were on stage, or $56,000 a minute. Something crazy.
Steven was touring himself at the time. He never got to see David Lee Roth on his first tour out of Van Halen. I saw that show twice, the Eat 'Em and Smile tour, where it was Billy Sheehan on bass, Steve Vai on guitar, and Greg Bissonette on drums.
Yeah.
And I saw that twice, that tour, and yeah, phenomenal.
I saw that tour once, and then I actually saw Van Halen with David Lee Roth on the '84 tour, right after the US Festival.
Right, as did I. Who put an angry face? I see the reactions here, and there's there's likes, there's hearts, there's laughs, and then there's an angry face. Oh, I can see who did it. Dominic Rinaldi put an angry face reaction. Tell us, Dominic.
Why are you angry, Dominic?
What are you angry about, Dominic? And how can we fix it and make you feel better?
Be happy, man.
Yeah.
Be happy.
Matthew said Live Aid. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely Live Aid. Sure, 1985.
Monsters of Rock was another good one. I remember my brother went to that one.
Trying to, because I've seen a lot of shows, and
Yeah, that was like Scorpions, Metallica,
I remember that. I'd go see that.
bunch of bands.
That was the Scorpions are one band that I've never seen live, nor do I care to. Not that I don't like
Yeah,
them.
me neither. I've never seen them live.
I mean, they're good, but I just never was like, I really need to see those Scorpions.
Oh no, but I think I did see Scorpions live at Brendan Byrne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I was thinking about another concert, because I went to the other 2 Woodstocks, and we talked about this last week, the Woodstock 99 documentary thing. Yeah, I mean, John said the Beatles rooftop concert.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, that wasn't really a show, and it wasn't very long, and you can watch the whole thing in the Get Back documentary that was on whatever. What was on Netflix? Something? HBO Max? One of those. Weather Report. Ken said Weather Report in the Jocko.
The Jocko era, yeah.
That's a good one, man.
Yeah, Steve Gadd on drums.
Oh man, that would just blow your freaking mind. Seeing that Steve Gadd and Jocko. Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
or Steve Smith. I think Steve Smith's Weather Report too for a while. With Jocko.
I saw Van Halen with Dave. I saw the Plant and Page when they did that unleaded thing when It was in the '90s, mid '90s, and they did a tour. You remember that?
No.
They did. It was. They had like a MTV Unplugged sort of show, and then they did a tour. It was Robert Plant and Jimmy Page playing Zeppelin songs, and that was. I saw that live, and that was great. I guess I would have loved to have seen Zeppelin anytime. Batman would have loved to have seen the last Slayer show ever. I've never seen Slayer. I don't know if I could.
My brother's seen Slayer a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, great
I don't know
show.
if I could handle a Slayer show.
Yeah, he said it was really good.
Do we like some country? Steve asked. Ish. I like some country songs. Some of the best songwriting comes out of Nashville and country music. So
Some of the best drum sounds come out of Nashville too.
Yeah, I do really appreciate the quality of songwriting that comes in with country music. The storytelling aspect of it, I love that. But I don't have like big country groups that I follow or anything, but I'll listen to it.
But I think it's interesting too, Steve, now is country has morphed into there's a dozen country stations on Sirius.
Oh yeah.
From Y2K, which is like country pop, to, Willie's Roadhouse, which is all the old school stuff, and then everything in between,
Right on. We're losing people, but Adam said Steely Dan.
Near the end.
Steely Dan in 1998. I definitely would have loved to see Steely Dan at least once.
I saw them in '98. I saw them at Jones Beach.
Jones Beach, great place to see a show.
Yeah.
God, do they still have shows there?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great.
Jones Beach Amphitheater. Yeah, right on the water. Awesome.
Right on the water on Long Island.
Great sounding venue.
Great sounding and a great atmosphere, just being outside and on the water there. And
yeah.
Sometimes the wind makes it tough, depending on where you're sitting in Jones Beach. If you're sitting in the back and it's windy, the sound gets all screwed up with.
Yeah, but the way the amphitheater is built, the way it retains the sound, it's a very unique experience to see a band there.
Yes. Steve Dinsmore is name dropping. He said, I'm friends with Jim Riley, drummer for Rascal Flatts.
Nice.
That's cool, Steve. I saw Rascal Flatts live at Madison Square Garden in, I want to say, 2008 or 9. No, 7, 8, 9, somewhere around there. And they were fantastic. And I liked them. I knew a bunch of songs. It was a girl I was dating. She wanted to go see him, so I did. It was Jessica Simpson opened for Rascal Flatts. And but Rascal Flatts was great. They were great. They have a lot of great songs, excellent musicians they are, and vocals. The vocal harmonies really good. So Steve, since you're friends with Jim, number 1, tell him about the CBC Wizdumb Hour. Number 2, tell him about Cover Band Central. Number 3, tell him I'd love to have him as a guest, or we'd love to have him as a guest,
sure,
because he's a famous person.
Yes.
And because he's a drummer, and because he plays in Rascal Flatts. And number 4, tell him that I think Rascal Flatts is great. So awesome. You got all that, Steve?
4 good points there, Steve. 4.
But he opened I guess Steve opened for them at a country fest in WI, Wisconsin, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Carl Myers would have liked to have seen Snake and Arrows tour at Rush.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Rush a bunch of times. I don't know which tours, though.
I think Snake and Arrows tour was the one we saw them.
Look at that.
What?
Steve Dinsmore said, will do. All those 4 things I asked him to do, he said he will do. So 6 degrees of separation, man. That's 2 degrees away from Rascal Flatts.
That's right.
That is pretty cool.
That's right. Got my sound effects guy going.
Donna said, Nashville is not exclusively country, and hasn't been for a while. Are a lot of rock and roll bands at Call It Home?
Call It Home.
That Call It Home. Thank you, Tony.
You got to read between the lines there.
Yeah, Nashville is, but it's definitely a songwriter's place too. But there's a lot of people that gig there. And actually, my friend Dominic I think he was in Nashville, or he's going there or something. Steven said he can get That's Rich Redmond. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Rich Redmond, love him.
Who's Rich Redmond?
He's drummer for Jason Aldean.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
What's with all the drummers?
He's friends with Dom Famularo, my drummer.
Where are the
mentor.
bass? Where are my bass player brethren?
I don't know, man. It's all about the drums right there. You
But that's
we'll
cool.
have drummer from Rascal Flatts. We'll have drummer from Jason Aldean. We'll have him on. Plenty to talk about. I could lead the charge on that.
Okay.
I can use some index cards with some questions on it so you can feel like you're part of the combo. You'd be like, hey, what type of... What is that?
Drum key.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What kind of microphones do you use on your kick drum? Kick drum.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just read that.
Yeah. Matthew said Nashville houses the best musicians around the world, no matter the genre.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, I have not been to Nashville either, and that's a shame because I need to go.
I have. It's awesome.
It's a huge mecca for writers, musicians, and
Yeah,
artists. Says
no doubt.
Karen.
Yeah. And what's awesome, Steve, is like you walk down the street like 10 o'clock in the morning and there's, bars that are open with the full air windows and it was, boom. I can
He
get you a
said, what is Tully?
He's in his wedding. Wow, you're friends with Rich Redmond. That's awesome, Steve.
What is Tully?
I can get you a Tully.
What is Tully? It says, I can get you Tully. What does that mean?
It means that's his nickname. Rich Redmond's nickname must be Tully.
Okay.
And he's saying he's going to get us Tully.
Thanks, Anastasia. She said she loves our banter. Enjoy your evening.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you, Anastasia. Thanks for joining. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. The link is in the description. So you don't miss out a word or any banter.
Yeah, but no, I love Rich Redmond. He's great.
Oh, no, he said Tully is a bass player. Oh, Tully is the bass player for Jason Aldean, I guess.
Oh, I guess so, yes.
Okay. No, that's okay.
It's Tully.
Don't worry. Bass players are boring.
Yeah, we don't want Tully. We want Rich Redmond.
I'm just kidding. I'm a
He's
bass
got cool
player.
hair.
I don't know him.
We can get
me,
Tully. Listen, we'll get the whole rhythm section, Steve. Then we can have rhythm section banter,
That is true.
right?
If
get
we
Rich
got
Redmond and Tully,
Rich Redmond and Tully, because Steven was in his wedding,
yeah,
and then, you know what? We could even get Steven in here, too, and because he's very interactive with us.
yes, we have to do
No,
that.
no, he said, I'll send you his number. No, don't do that. Because then if you send me his number, I'll call him. I'm like, hey, this is Steve from the
I'll call
Cover
him
Band Central Wizdumb Hour.
I'll call him up. No problem.
No, Steven, you tell him, you talk to him and say, hey, guess what? I know these guys who do the Cover Band Central Wizdumb Hour. And they'll be like, what is that? And you'll say, it's this cool thing where these two guys talk about stuff, music. And there's a Cover Band Central, and there's 460,000 people following it, and you should go check it out.
You should definitely go.
You
check
talk
it
to
out.
him and tell him, and then he can contact me
Right.
at... Oh, shit, I didn't have it ready. Steven at coverbandcentral.com. Or through Facebook, or, I mean, Steven, I think you probably have a number, too. So.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, dude, the guy can't even get the logo up when it's needed.
He was in a band with them in the early 90s.
Nice.
And yes, and Social Security number, too.
Send routing number for your.
I'll send you his
checking account.
number and Social Security
Yes,
number.
and routing number for his checking account.
That's cool. Yeah, we need some famous people on here because we're not famous, right? Let's get we need to get some
yourself.
famous. It'll up our legitimacy. It'll make us seem like we're cooler than we actually are.
That's right. Legend in your own mind. You don't know who I'm gonna be.
We need some famous people. So the Rascal Flatts guys,
Famous schmamous, Steve. We need
and the-
people that can contribute to the community and add their insights for all to enjoy.
we get the Rascal Flatts drummer, right, and then the Jason Aldean.
Rhythm section from Jason Aldean's band. That'll be a good one to have on.
Yeah. So Steve Dinsmore's getting us Jim Riley and Steven. It's all about Steve's today.
It's the Magic Steve Day. Steve.
Steve Dinsmore's getting us Jim Riley for Rascal Flatts. Steven Dakin is getting us Rich Redmond and Tully. And I am the other Steve, and I'm getting you nothing.
No, you're supposed to say, and I am Steve, and I'm bringing you this wisdom and
I
procuring
am
all
the
of
one
these
that-
great I'm connecting the dots for all these great guests to come together to impart more wisdom to the audience because we give back to the community, Steve. So you got to.
That's true.
You have to let them know that that's what you're here for.
That's true. Well said.
In addition to
Well
the
said.
other 15,000 things that you do very well, but that's want to highlight just a few. We don't want to brag, and
I
act
do.
all high and mighty and stuff, but we want to be humble yet sincere.
I do make a mean casserole.
That you do.
Donna would have liked to have been Aerosmith Toys in the Attic tour. That would have been sweet.
Yeah, that would have been.
They were super coked up at that point.
Yeah, I'm sure they definitely were.
I've seen Aerosmith many
But
times
probably
too.
super high energy too, though.
Oh yeah, well that's what that coke
I,
does for you.
I'm saying, but for that album, all those good tunes, good
Yeah,
record, good tour.
I think Rocks was after. Rocks is my favorite Aerosmith album. I think that was after Toys in the Attic.
Is that Lightning Strikes on that Rocks?
No, Lightning Strikes is on
Rock and a Hard Place.
Rock and a Hard Place, which
Yeah.
was the album without Joe Perry.
Right.
They had this other guy. I forget his name. Chris said he'll work on Merrimack sleeves for Max Sabbath. And I know, Chris, I know you're joking, or maybe you're not joking, but okay. Because Max Sabbath is awesome. And if people don't know who Max Sabbath is, they're guys that dress up as McDonald's characters and play songs by Black Sabbath. And they are freaking awesome.
Max.
So if he can get us
So they
Merrimack
got
sleeves.
wait, so they got like the Hamburglar and like characters
Grimace,
like that.
Grimace, yeah. Max
Right.
and the lead singer is Ronald McDonald, but
Yeah.
they dress sort of like an evil or crazy looking. If you don't know Max Sabbath, you got to look them up because they're crazy. Or Chris said, or maybe a little Ozzy, and that's just as good. If you can get us a little Ozzy too, and even if he's joking, it's still, I'm down, man. I'm down. Anybody out there, somebody
Hey,
that's kind of
send your famous people in to Cover Band Central for you, your band, or both.
if you know somebody that's kind of famous or kind of cool and would be a great guest here, Steve at coverbandcentral.com, send an email and let me know, or just put it in the comments here, or contact them and have them contact me, because we need some guests here sometimes, because I can't come up with topics all the time. I was racking my brain today, like, what are we going to talk about? Like, I don't know. I don't know. And then I was just like, I got an idea. I'll just let the audience decide.
There you go. There's always stuff to talk about. You just got to get talking.
He said he'll send a message, no guarantees, a tremendous 50-50 joke becomes reality. That's right.
That's right.
Chris?
Yes.
I love that he's watching on YouTube, too.
You just got to believe that's going to happen, and it will.
And Chris is watching on YouTube, and you can watch on YouTube too. Say that 3 times fast.
YouTube 2, YouTube 2, YouTube 2.
The link is in the description. Click on that link and follow us. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, because I need more subscribers there. I'm not going to bullshit anybody. We need more subscribers.
We need support,
on YouTube.
man.
That's all.
That's it. You got to tell them.
And there's plenty of great content on there. There's no reason to not subscribe.
He's foolish not to.
Right. It'd be foolish not to.
I mean, between the witty banter, handsome guys,
The handsome
famous people about to come,
Tony.
famous people about to come on the show soon.
We got
a lot to offer.
We're stepping it up.
Offer, man. We're stepping it up.
We're going to up-level this whole thing.
You want to get it on the ground level.
Except
when
now
it off.
we only have 15 people watching.
Yeah, well, it's the end of the show, man. We got 4 minutes
Right
left.
now it's 16. Oh, and I can see where they're watching too. This is cool. 2 on the YouTube channel, 13 on the Cover Band Central page, and 1 in the Cover Band Central group. Now it's 12 on the page.
There you go.
I can even see who they are. Wait, let me see if I can do that.
You're like, Tom from New Zealand's watching in his living room right now.
Right. Let's turn the camera on, Tom.
And Bill from New Providence, Canada, is watching it on his iPad outside, enjoying a beverage by his pool.
Right. Is that a Rolling Rock?
How do we know that? Because Cover Band Central knows all.
Adam said, I'll tell all my musician friends about you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Adam.
Adam, you can tell all your friends about us, because we got way more to offer than just music.
Not just your musician friends. We have wisdom that
That's
we
right.
give.
We have wisdom.
All right, we got 5 minutes left. What else you got?
Emphasis on the dumb part of wisdom, but we're we do try. We do.
It's really kind of a mix. If you threw dumb and smart in a blender and put it on puree, That's what you get.
That's what you end up with here.
That's it. That's
Kind
what
of
you'd end up
discombobulated information disseminated by two questionably wisdomatic guys.
with. Perfect.
I mean, what else is there to talk about?
Well
That was
said.
it. I just explained it all. I'm dropping the mic,
There you go. Nice sound.
and there it goes.
So I talked about the stars in the beginning. For the let's see how
Yeah,
many people are now
Starman,
watching.
baby. Starman.
21 people watching on the Facebook page. That's the place you can give stars. It's a way to give a digital gift back to Cover Band Central because we do this all for free. 1 star equals 1 cent. You could buy a pack of stars and give like 100 or 500, which is like $1 or $5. If you like, it's our version of a tip jar. It's Facebook's version of a tip jar, but they finally allowed us to do it. So I got to talk about it. So if you'd like to give some stars during this live stream or during the replay, please do.
Wait, so dude, drunk people at the gig. I didn't tell my story. I only got
No,
1
you
minute
don't have
left.
enough time now. You have-
Very quickly. So I'll summarize it to you. Videotaping the band, tripod out on a table, perfect view of the band, zoomed in, got the whole band in the frame, great sound system in front of the PA, hear everything great. All of a sudden, halfway through the gig, drunken girls meander up, are stumbling around in front of the camera at the table where, like, this is the camera, like this. I got video of like this. You know, I got like half a night of video like that, and then all of a sudden you see the girl stand there, and the one girl goes, "Yeah." And anyway, they're watching us right now. They're watching us, and she walks up and turns the camera against the wall.
Oh,
Yeah, and I got 45 minutes of great band with audio with looking at a wall.
that's brutal.
Yep. Yeah, brutal. That's my drunken people at the bar story, ruining your videotaping efforts.
So many people do that. I love when I set up the camera on the tripod. I got it perfectly framed, and it's in the perfect distance, and then somebody stands right in front of it, and you see the back of their head. They're oblivious to the fact that there's a camera there.
Yeah, well, like I said, I can't tell you how much of the footage of people's faces right in the camera. Like they're at the table, like checking their phone, having a drink, chit-chatting amongst themselves. Meanwhile, the camera's on the table on a tripod, and it's a big thing. Like you can't miss it. But what are
All
you
right.
gonna do? Well,
Matthew snuck in a late question. I'll keep this a very simple answer. His question is, at what point do you stop trying to pick songs based on what's popular, but play to what music you've grown up on? At the
tune in
point
next
when,
week for that answer.
well, I'll say at the point when you want to stop making money is when you do that. Pick songs pick songs that people want to hear, not pick songs don't pick songs that you want to hear or want to play. Pick songs that people want to hear if you want to make money. If you don't care about making money, then play whatever the hell you want.
That could be a topic for next week. We'll revisit that.
No, that's it. There's nothing more to say about it.
Already done. See that?
That's it.
Give anything. Good.
But, what you can do, though, in the meantime, is go to coverbandcentral.com and sign up for a profile for you, your band, or both. It is free. It is growing every day. Go there, post something on the wall. It works just like Facebook. Post your videos, post your comments, your concerns, whatever, and join groups. Check out the gallery. Check out all the articles. Coverbandcentral.com. It's the place to go. Go there. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. The link is in the description. As I said before, if you haven't given any stars, throw in a couple stars. Here we go. Give stars. I'm gonna
Give stars.
I'm gonna do a cover redo of "We're Stars," which was the metal version of "We Are the World," and call it "Give Stars."
I think you could do "Give Blood" by Pete Townsend.
Well, we could do
Give Stars.
Yeah, we could do "Give Blood" by Pete Townsend too. Either one works for me. I don't care.
Either way, just give stars, and we'll figure out how to put music to it later.
Yeah. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Get out there and rock and have fun, and don't drink and drive. And we'll see you next week.